We'll take it. There's nothing better than to know you did a great job with your customers and they reward you with one of my favorite exclamations, "We'll take it." But then reality sets in. Even with all the years I've been in sales, I'm pretty sure I can count the number of times I've heard that phrase on one hand. We'll take it. So what do clients say at this stage of the sales process? Well, how about these? We need to sleep on it. Or we need to think about it. Or I need to check with my spouse. Or I never buy the first place I visit. Do any of those sound familiar? If so, stick around. I'm Jon Quade, the 5-Minute Coach. Even if you work in a one-price environment, you need to be prepared for pushback from your customers from time to time. As long as there are areas of potential negotiation, trade-ins, warranties, aftermarket options, and financing, buyers may object to pricing, payments, and add-ons. So let's first talk about the types of objections you may face, and then how to handle them. The most common types are the smokescreen objections. These are generally false excuses covering up the actual objection, which sometimes makes them more difficult to handle. They are the ones that I referred to just a few moments ago. I want to think about it. I want to sleep on it. We need to pray on it. We never buy from the first place we look. With smokescreens, you first need to identify the real objection. It's attempting to cover up, and to do that, you need to use a clarifying progression, as I call it, also known as "is it?" It sounds like this. What seems to be holding you back? Is it the vehicle? Is there something about the vehicle you're not happy with? Is it the dealership? Do you have a question about buying from us? I hope not, but is it me? Have I offended you somehow? And then, is it the price, or is it the payments? At this stage of the sales process where we're asking the client to do business with us, hopefully at least the first three I mentioned, the vehicle, the dealership, and you, should not be at issue because you've asked good questions. You've given the client several opportunities to bring up objections to continuing along the way. So most likely you'll hear an affirmative response to number 4, the price. But what happens if they say no to all your questions? No, it's none of those things. We really just need to think it over. Now, if that happens, because you can't really overcome smokescreens, what are you going to say? You do not need to think it over. Well, that's not going to work. Probably not a viable solution. Instead, give the price issue one more try. And here's how. Let me ask you one more question. Would you take the vehicle home today if it were free? Now ask this with a smile because you don't want to sound contentious, but it may just prove your point. If they say free, well, of course we would. Then you can say, so it is the price. Now all we have to do is find an agreeable figure between free and $42,376. And it may sound silly, but it does prove that price is indeed the motivating factor for your customers. Once you do identify the actual objection, whether it's price or trade value or payments or whatever, here's the process to work through it. Restate, acknowledge, isolate, and negotiate. Yes, that's right. It's an acronym of the word RAIN to help you remember it. So restating the objection, it sounds like this. So you feel the payments are higher than you had hoped. That's restating. Acknowledging, hey, I understand. Everybody has a budget these days, that's for sure. That's acknowledging. Isolating sounds like this. Other than the payments, is there anything else that's preventing you from taking the truck home today? Here they might bring up any other objections, but the whole reason for isolating is to get the client to say that under certain conditions, they would agree to buy or lease the vehicle. As soon as they say, nope, that's it, it's just the payments, you can continue. Then finally, the N is negotiate. Negotiate for a commitment. It doesn't mean to cut the price. It means negotiate for a commitment. So if we can come to terms on the payments, can we make it work for you? At this point, you can ask the customer to make a written offer at a price or payment or trade allowance they can live with. Alternately, of course, you can ask a manager for assistance at this point if you need it. Look, objections can be pretty scary for some sales consultants, but as long as you listen well and have a plan forward, objections can be the bridge between your customer and a completed sale. And there you have it. That's it for this episode of the 5-Minute Coach. I'm Jon Quade.